Mm. So it's recording now. Hello everyone, welcome back to this tutorial. So how to draft a blazer jacket with a shawl collar. It's actually a live session, so if you are active online, do it to join the live and indicate by typing down your name and the place you are watching from in the comment section. Thank you so much for doing that. So if you're a beginner, if you don't know how to go about your drafting your basic bodies, I'm going to take you now to draft your basic bodies and how to um, alter it to a different style. So if you're active, please do it to indicate by typing down your name in the comment section, comment on where you are watching from, and stay tuned as we continue with the video. Thank you so much. And before we start the tutorial proper, I really want to appreciate everyone, all my returning subscribers, new subscriber. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for always coming back to watch my video. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate the love, and I pray may the Lord bless you all for all your support. So let's go on with the video. So I'm going to take this pattern down just so it can stay in place for us to work with. Okay, so we'll be drafting the back pattern first because we'll be needing it for the front pattern. So we are going to draft the back pattern first before we draft the front. So I'm going to come up here and rule a straight line across, which will serve as our starting point and our shoulder line. So this is our shoulder line here. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to come down to take my vertical measurements, the measurement we'll be needing for this tutorial, all right? And the first one that we'll be taking is your bust point. So you're going to measure from your bust, from your shoulder to your bust point, and mark it if you are following the tutorial too. You're going to measure from your shoulder to your bust point. Mine is 9.5 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way to have a straight line across. Mark it, and I'll go ahead and extend the point across. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, what we are drafting is a blazer jacket with a shawl collar. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier as I was explaining. So we are drafting blazer jacket with a shawl collar. So if you don't know how to draft a basic blazer jacket, I'm sure that this video is for you. So do it to stay glued to the channel as we draft together. From your waist, from your shoulder to your waist at the back, because from your shoulder to your waist at the back and from your shoulder to your waist in front is not the same, it's different. So when drafting your back pattern, you're supposed to measure from your shoulder to your waist at the back. That is what you're supposed to use for your waist point for the back pattern. I have explained that severally on my other videos. I've explained that. So when you are making a basic bodice, you're supposed to take from your shoulder to your waist at the back, from your shoulder to your, because we have bust in front, so the front pattern is usually longer than the back pattern. So please, when drafting the back, do well to take from your shoulder to your waist at the back, and mine is 14.5 inches. From my shoulder to my waist at the back is 14.5 inches. I'm going to mark that, and I'll extend the point across. So the next point should be length of our blazer. So at this point, it depends on what you are going for, the look you are going for. It can be a blazer dress, it can be a blazer blouse, it can be a blazer crop top. So it depends on the look you are going for. So what we are doing, I'm going to come down to mark the length of my blazer. So I'll be marking 24 inches. Like I said, it depends on what you want. All right, so I'll be marking 24 for the length. And this is my blazer length. Let me put it this way. This is my waist point, and this is my bust point. So I'm going to come to the shoulder line here, divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5. I'm going to mark the 7.5 right here. So at this point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. You know our shoulders are not straight, so do well to come down for your shoulder slope. I'm going to come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'm using 3 inches for the neck width. I'll connect from the neck width all the way to the shoulder slope, like so. Then for the neck depth for the back, I'm going to use 1 inch for the neck depth. I'll mark the 1 inch here, and I'll connect from the neck width all the way to the 1 inch we just marked. And to mark your chest line, you're going to divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches. That is the formula for getting your chest line. Line is 7. Your bust divided by 6 by 1.5 inches, that gives me 7. I'm going to mark the 7 here, and I'll extend the point across. So this line becomes my chest line. So on my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here. I'll mark my shoulder measurement on my chest line, and I'll connect from the and divide my bust circumference by 4. I'm going to mark it right here. Here from to this place all the way to the shoulder slope. So like do it to comment your name and the place you are watching. should leave that in the comment section. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to mark our dart. And to mark your dart, you are going to divide your nipple to nipple measurements by 2. That is your span measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7, divided by 2 is 3.5. I'm going to mark the 3.5 on the chest line, on the bust line, on the waistline, and all the way to the full length. And I'll connect all these points together to form a straight line. So on the waistline, before we impute our ram body measurement, on the waistline, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch here. The reason why we are doing this is because our back is not straight. If you look at your back is not straight, right? So this excess that we are supposed to have here, we're going to take it out so that your blazer can lay very flat at your back, so that you don't have this puff around this waist region at the back. So I'll just slant it up this way, and I'll do the same thing. I'll just slant it down. So this excess here, we are going to be taking it out. So by the time you do this and you sew your blazer, it's going to come out really perfect. It's going to lay very flat at the back. This bulginess people usually have at the back around the waist region. To give your blazer a very perfect I hope we got all the explanation. I had a disconnection, so I'll just do a recap. What we did here, we rule a straight line here. From the shoulder line, we came down to our bust point. From the shoulder line, we came down to our waist point, and then from the shoulder line, we took our full length, and then we marked our shoulder measurements on the shoulder line. I divided my shoulder measurement by 2 and marked it on the shoulder line. At that point, I came down by 1 inch from my shoulder slope, and on the shoulder slope all the way. And then to mark my chest line, I divide my bust by 6 and add 1.5 inches. That is the formula, and I got 7. So from the shoulder slope, I came down to mark that 7, right? Then to connect my armhole, I mark the midpoint of this line here. I marked the midpoint here. At the midpoint, I came in by 1/2 inch. Then on the chest line, I marked my bust circumference divided by 4, and then I connect from there, from the chest line to my midpoint all the way to my shoulder slant, just to get my armhole. And then the next thing we did was we mark our darts. And to mark your dart, you're going to divide your nipple to nipple measurements by 2. That is your bust span. Mine is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I impute the 3.5 on the chest line, bust line, waistline, all the way to the full length, right? Then before we impute our round body measurement here, on the waistline I marked 1/2 inch here. And the reason why we did this is because our back is not straight, right? Our back is not is going to bulge inch here. Your blades look at the, and I slant it up and down. So this excess that we are supposed to have at the waist region here, we are going to cut it out. This is what we have here. You can see that I cancel this area here. We're going to cut it out. Then after that, I marked 1/2 inch on both sides of our dart leg, right? I came down from the chest line by 1 inch. I came down from the waistline by 6 inch, which is going to be the length of our dart, and I connect my dart. I connected my dart measurements.